Hello, welcome to News Center. I'm Parikshit Luthra. Air raid sirens went off in Israel an hour before the truce was due to end this morning. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu said that Hamas did not respect its obligation to release hostages today and launched rockets towards citizens of Israel. Israel has also claimed to have intercepted a rocket fired from Gaza. At least 32 Palestinians are said to have been killed in Israeli strikes since the temporary truce came to an end. As per Gaza's health ministry, even after the ceasefire was lifted, negotiations brokered by Qatar, Egypt with Israel and Hamas are continuing. Let me now go across to our guests this evening. We're joined by IDF spokesperson, Lieutenant Colonel Peter Lerner, and also a spokesperson for the Israeli Foreign Ministry, Alex Gandler. Colonel Lerner, let me ask you about the number of hostages still in the custody of the Hamas. Could you give us a sense of how many people are still stuck there? What is the breakup like? And what about putting this humanitarian pause back on track?
Thank you. Yes, indeed. As you rightly pointed out, Hamas decided to violate the agreement, the ceasefire, the operational pause that was in place for the last week when they decided not to release women and children. They actively, effectively ended the pause that was undergoing for the last week. And this is what we've been saying, that they have to release all the hostages. The agreement was supposed to include women and children. When they refused to release the women and children, they basically said no more agreement. And then, as you also pointed out, just before 6 a.m. here in Israel, they launched rockets attack, and we've had several rocket attacks throughout the day from into southern Israel. So yeah, we are currently mobilizing. We're re-engaging Hamas on the ground. We have effective operations ongoing, seeking them out and hunting them down wherever they are.
Right. Let me also ask you about what the Qatar government has said. The Qatar mediator has said that they deeply regret Israel's renewed bombardment of Gaza, and this is likely to complicate mediation efforts and cause a humanitarian catastrophe. How do you respond to this?
I deeply regret that Hamas on the 7th of October decided to enter our communities, brutally massacre, murder, rape, behead, and abduct Israelis. Israel did not choose this war. Israel was surprised by this war. And the IDF now is charged with two core roles. First of all, dismantling and destructing Hamas to make sure that they never have the power of government again, a power that undermines the safety and security of all decent people in this region. And the second component, of course, is the important notion of rescuing and bringing home the hostages. We are in an effort to bring home all of the hostages, every last one of them.
Right. Alex Gandler, now with us on the phone. Alex, I would like to ask you about what the Hamas is also saying. The solution is not to have a truce. The real solution is to find mechanisms to put an end to this occupation. Considering that they are completely contradictory points of view right now, Hamas not really budging from its stand, and Israel determined to stop and eliminate all capacity of the Hamas to carry out attacks, where do you think there could be a meeting point in the days to come?
Hello, everyone. Well, I have to say that I have to correct you a bit and say that we intend not to just stop Hamas from attacking Israel, but we want to eradicate Hamas's existence in the Gaza Strip and stop its rule over the people of Gaza. And that is in order to bring safety and security for both the people of Gaza and for the people of Israel. A meeting point will be available if Hamas abides by any agreements that are given to him. We are currently, we were prepared to continue with the agreement in order to secure hostages and to release hostages from Gaza. Unfortunately, Hamas this morning at around 7 a.m. decided to fire rockets at Israel, together with not providing a list of hostages to be released as per said agreement. So Hamas at the moment is at fault with its conduct regarding any pause of engagement. The state of Israel is ready to continue its engagement. We have two main goals, as stated by our Prime Minister. One is to eradicate Hamas completely from the Gaza Strip, and the other one is to bring back all our hostages.
Right. Alex, I'd also like to ask you about the visit of the Israeli president to COP28 in Dubai. He's having a meeting with a host of world leaders there. What kind of international attention, international support are you hoping for?
Well, first of all, the fact that we can operate the way we operate in the last 50 days or more so now just shows you the international support that we already have. We're in conversations and connections with many other nations. COP28 is a good ground to gather both more support, but also to convey our message and talk about why we're trying to, again, dismantle Hamas. I think it's because it is taking place in the UAE. It is also a very good regional ground to speak about dismantling Hamas. Many nations around Israel are also interested in the same goals that Israel has. Hamas and Iran obviously are destabilizing forces in the region. You probably saw it in the last 50 or so days when you saw all of Iran's proxies attacking Israel. This is an example of the force that Iran and its proxies can wield and then affect other nations across the region as well. Israel is a strong nation that can hold its ground,
Right.
but maybe others will have a bit more trouble, as we saw in other conflicts around the region. So President Erdogan's visit to COP28 is to both gain support, but also talk about the subjects of regional instability that are pushed on by Iran.
Right. Alex, any expectation from India? I believe there was a meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India as well. Currently, as this war goes on, any kind of support or any kind of understanding that you want to reach with India?
Well, first of all, our connection to India and the Indian people is vital and important and deep as well. We're hearing a lot about the support that we're getting from Indian public and both from official sources. I think I'm not going to elaborate on this subject specifically because it has deep political meanings, but I can tell you that both your colleagues from the Indian media have been to Israel from the first day of this war and have reported back. And we've seen a large amount of both support but also of interest in the well-being of the state of Israel and a lot of solidarity that has been shown to Israel from India. Israelis see it, of course, and our heart is open to any support coming from India.
All right. Peter Lerner, returning to you, what parts of Israel have been attacked by the Hamas this morning? Have there been any casualties, any people injured, any damage to property as a result of those attacks?
Throughout the morning, we've had rocket fire from mostly in the south of Israel, in the surrounding areas of the Gaza Strip, rocket and mortar fire. I am not in a position to say if there's anyone wounded or what damage. Our interceptors conducted several interceptions this morning, probably diverting damage to people and property. This is the situation. This is what we're facing this morning.
Right. My final question to you would be, what is the focus of the Israeli operation now? As you have been saying, Hamas broke the truce agreement. They carried out attacks against Israel, making it difficult for the truce to be carried on and implemented on the ground. So what is this phase of those military operations focusing on?
We will continue to dismantle and destroy Hamas's infrastructure. We will make sure that they cannot govern the Gaza Strip. We will make sure that the terrorist infrastructure, such as tunnels, rocket launchers, staging grounds, command and control positions, we will engage and destroy them wherever they are. We are currently focused mostly on the northern Gaza Strip, but there are terrorists, and we have conducted a strike in the south against specific locations, precision-based. And yes, indeed, we intend in implementing our operational goal as instructed by the government and planned out by the forces on the ground in order to achieve the goals of this war of bringing home the hostages and dismantling Hamas as a governing authority. You know, we have to understand that we've seen what happened when Hamas had the power of government. They built a terrorist army. They built an army. They funded an army. They equipped the army and they trained the army to conduct the most atrocious hostility against Israel since the establishment of the State of Israel. So we know that they cannot be trusted. We know that they can't be trusted with the power of government. This is precisely why there has to be a paradigm change, a change that brings safety and security to all people, Israelis and Palestinians alike.
Right. Thank you very much to Alex and Colonel Peter Lerner for joining us. This is a story that we'll continue focusing on very, very closely. Let's shift focus to COP28. World leaders have gathered in